Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and the Steam Summer Sale is officially live, and with that, a lot of great deals. Now, I gotta give credit to Steam right off the top. I don't know if this is new. I feel like this is new, but if it's not, then I'm just dumb. But they have a section in the front page that's featured deep discounts. These are games that are 90% off, 85% off, and if you just want to look through those, you're going to find a ton of good deals just available off the rip right there. And that's where a lot of the deals in this video in particular are going to come from. We're going to look at deals under the price of $5. We're not going to go below $3 or $2 because you guys gotta understand, I gotta get my content, and I'll do videos for under $3 and under $2 down the line. But got under 5 here. Right off the top, we gotta mention a deal that I think every single one of you already owns this game, but for the 20 people that don't, 90% off The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt for $3.99 is insane. This is a ridiculous deal. I don't care who you are. If this game isn't in your library, buy it for $3.99. It's quite possibly the most ridiculous deal that's ever been available in the history of Steam. It's one of the greatest video games of all time from a single-player RPG standpoint. I often have said this is the best single-player game that is ever created, and if you want to assess the aspects of a single-player RPG that you want to assess, Witcher 3 excels in just about every single area. Visuals, narrative, gameplay, content that's meaningful from a side content standpoint. It is just so well done. And again, most of you guys already own this game, but for the two of you that don't, it's a great buy. You can buy the Witcher Trilogy bundle for $7.62, and then the complete edition is $12.49 still, which honestly is worth it given that Blood and Wine and Hearts of Stone are fantastic, but if you just want the base game, $3.99 for that is superb. So definitely do check that out. One of the best deals available. Next up, we got Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun, done by Mimimi Games, who unfortunately shut down recently. Shadow Tactics was a tremendous tactics game done by them, and it has such a great setting. Japan around the Edo period, a new Shogun seizes power over Japan and enforces nationwide peace in this battle against conspiracy and rebellion. He recruits 5 specialists with extraordinary skills for assassination, sabotage, and espionage. If you're a fan of your rewarding and challenging tactics-based games, this will be right up your alley. Now, they do have difficulty options, so if you do want an easier experience, you can have that as well, but great setting. The locales are really well done, and visually, I think for this style of game, it looks quite good. $3.99 is a good buy, and it does have a standalone expansion called Aiko's Choice. That is on sale for $5, so you can check that out as well. Next up, the Banner Saga is 80% off for $4.99. This game, in my opinion, is criminally underrated. Now, ultimately, it did get a sequel, and that sequel got a sequel. We got 3 Banner Saga games, but Banner Saga is a really cool tactical RPG set in a Viking period. Visually and aesthetically, it looks fantastic. Narratively, it's pretty well done. One of those games that doesn't get a ton of buzz, but I do believe it deserves it. I think the studio did a great job with it. You know, at a full $20 or whatever, I think it's a little bit expensive, but at $4.99, definitely a good buy. And for whatever reason, if you have 3 friends that want to check out Banner Saga as well, they do have a 4-pack. It's 80% off for $15, so you get 4 copies of the game for the price of 3. So, you know, something to consider there as well. But $4.99 for Banner Saga, great deal there. Next up, we got Red Faction Guerrilla Re-Mars-tered Edition, 80% off for $3.99. No, look, I think Re-Mars-tered Edition is an absolutely terrible name for a video game, but I get what they're doing, guys. It's a play on words. The game is set in Mars. I get it. I'm not that dumb, but I just don't like the name. However, what I do like is Red Faction Guerrilla. In fact, Red Faction Guerrilla is a game that I played on the PlayStation 3 back in June of 2009 when the game initially came out. And guess what? Loved it back in June of 2009, and it's still a damn good game today. Now, if you compare it to modern open world games, obviously it falls a little bit behind. It falls a little bit short about the biggest open world games that you'll see these days. But Red Faction Guerrilla, you know what it does have? It has that fun factor. It has that absolute level of chaos that sometimes in an open world game, that's exactly what the doctor ordered, and it is such a fun time. Running around with your sledgehammer, the level of destructibility in this game, explosions, etc., etc. It is an incredible game from a fun factor standpoint. Narratively, is it anything to write home about? Not necessarily, but, you know, overall, from a gameplay standpoint, I think it's tremendous, and for this price, definitely well worth it. Next up, speaking of an open world game that has that fun factor, Prototype absolutely has that as well, and it's 75% off for $4.99. Not only that, you can check out the Prototype franchise pack. You'll get Prototype 2, and the Prototype 2 RadNet Access Pack. That's $14.99. If you do want to check that out, Prototype is a really, really enjoyable open world action superhero game, and I think what Prototype did really well is that it empowered the player. And when you're talking about open world superhero games, that's what you want to do. You want to make the player feel like a badass, and Prototype really did that. Now, this game came out back in 2009. It's been 15 years, so visually, you know, it shows its age. And in fact, back in 2009 when this game came out, one of the pushback elements was the fact that the visuals weren't that great. It looked more so like a PS2 game rather than a PS3 game. A good PS2 game, mind you, but still, you know, if you just want a game that's really, really over-the-top, action-heavy, Prototype will offer you exactly that, and for $4.99, great pickup here. Next up, another game from 2009 on PC, but 2008 was its initial release on console. We got Mirror's Edge, 75% off for $4.99. Man, oh man, did I love Mirror's Edge, a action platform parkour-based title, so unique. And I remember back in 2008, you know, the biggest criticism for Mirror's Edge was the price point. $60 was a tough sell for a game that was, you know, a game you could beat in 7 to 8 hours, maybe even quicker than that for a lot of people. It did have a level of replayability, and it was enjoyable from that aspect, but it was a super short game. However, it's a game that now, buying it for $4.99, absolutely well worth it, and I think you're going to have a great time with it. I am a big fan of Mirror's Edge Catalyst as well. I don't think that game is that bad. I actually think it's pretty damn good. Just think people had really high expectations, and it's not as good as Mirror's Edge 08, but still pretty good in its own right. But check out Mirror's Edge, the original. $4.99 for that is great, and definitely worthwhile there. Next up, you guys know I gotta give my JRPG some love. Tales of Berseria, 90% off for $4.99. Man, I love me a quality Tales of game, and Tales of Berseria is a great one to get into the franchise with. You know, I would probably say Tales of Arise is the best game in the franchise in terms of getting into it, but Arise is $20. You know, that's a little pricey. $4.99, however, for Berseria, I think is a great deal. Has one of the more compelling main JRPG characters that you're gonna see in Velvet. Velvet is awesome and actually has a lot of depth to her character, and honestly, if you look at female main characters out of a JRPG, probably a real argument to be made that she's the most compelling one, at least from the games that I've played. I know some of you guys are going to be like, oh my god, you haven't played this game, or oh my god, you forgot about this. I think Velvet's a tremendous character, and yeah, she's fantastic. And the whole cast is pretty good. The narrative is really strong, and $4.99 for Berseria, great deal there for sure. Next up, Sonic Adventure 2, 50% off for $4.99. I mean, Sonic Adventure 2 is a classic. Hits all the nostalgia notes for me growing up in this era, playing Sonic Adventure 2 on the GameCube, and yeah, I know it was initially on the Dreamcast, but you get the idea. Sonic Adventure 2 is great, great soundtrack, gameplay still holds up fairly well. You know, this is one of those games that I do feel like Sega should look at making a remake of at some point, and I think, you know, in this lifetime it will happen, but nevertheless, for now, it hasn't been announced, so $4.99 for Sonic Adventure 2, great deal there. Next up, been mentioning this deal quite a lot, but it's still available. Dragon Age Inquisition Game of the Year Edition, 90% off for $3.99. Look, BioWare may be absolutely washed today, but Dragon Age Inquisition I thought was a damn good RPG, and why not play it before Veilguard comes out? Veilguard, I think people need to temper their expectations. BioWare is a shell of their former selves, but Inquisition for a lot of people was the last truly a great BioWare title, and for a lot of people, they didn't even vibe with Inquisition that much, but to get the base game, the DLC, $3.99, that's a damn good deal, and if you're looking for a quality RPG, a good pickup there. Next up, we got Firewatch, 80% off for $3.99. Always like to go to bat for Firewatch. I just think it's an incredible narrative-driven, atmospheric game from a story standpoint. It's really well done, although the ending leaves quite a lot to be desired, and that is a little bit unfortunate, but for $3.99, I think Firewatch is great, and the visual presentation of this game is so well done. You know, it came out, how long ago? 8.5 years ago at this point, still looks great to this day. Like, the watercolor look to it is awesome and definitely worthwhile there. Next up, we got Disco Elysium, the final cut, 90% off for $3.99. Holy hell, what a deal for Disco Elysium. This might be one of the standout deals and one of the best deals across the entirety of the sale. Like, eliminate Witcher 3, Disco Elysium for $4, that is tremendous. Very much a methodical, narrative-driven game, a little bit slower paced, not for everyone, but the writing in this game is absolutely phenomenal, and from that standpoint, I think it's worthwhile to play it. Again, it's not going to be for everyone, but I do believe it's such a well-done game, and for $3.99, a great pickup here, and I certainly would recommend it. And lastly, Axiom Verge, 80% off for $3.99. It's a Metroidvania done by one person, totally calls back to games of the Super Nintendo era, and for $4, I think this is a great pickup. I paid $19.99 for it when it came out on PS4, and had an enjoyable time paying full price, and certainly a throwback, so if you're not into the pixel graphics look and all that, not going to be your cup of tea, but if you are, you'll absolutely enjoy it. So that is going to do it for me. Again, some great deals under the price of $5. As always, it's really just scratching the surface, and there's a lot of other great deals that are available, but links to these in the description box below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.